Hello, New York City Charter Schools. This is Tracy Davy. I want to give you an introduction to our Level Zero software from our website, NYC Data Central. We really do want this to be everything you need for all of the work that we're going to help support you with. Um, One, how to contact us. Our information is over here for phone number and email, down here in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And to get to our secure software systems, just hover over secure. And for today's video, we're going to Level Zero. On the home page, you'll see our phone number here. If you need help logging in, you might need to call us if you cannot reset your password using your security questions and answers. The link that we would send you is only valid for 15 minutes, so please ensure that you are doing that and add a device and have a few minutes when you call in. So once in the software, there's a ton of information on the screen, and I want to help you feel more comfortable with it. As you can see at different times of the year, we will have a lot of verbiage over here on the left-hand side. This is information that we're typing in for you because we want you to be aware of it. It's usually a quick way to see the most recent deadlines or important reminders. There's also a link to our website, and in the lower section here, you'll find our phone number. Across the top, you'll see functionality, different things that you may need to use in Level Zero. What you're seeing here is slightly different. You certainly wouldn't have an admin section. You'll see your school name. If you are at a network or a consortium and you have multiple schools, when you tap in this area, you'd be able to switch to your schools, whatever schools you've been given access to. Obviously, as the employee of ES BOCES who runs Level Zero, we can jump to any of our schools in the city and help you all out. You do have the ability, by default, it will open to the current school year, but one prior year of data is also available in Level Zero as a reference, and I'll show you how that can be useful. In the main section here, this is called the dashboard. There are various features, and the state has updated this. Actually, this chart never used to be on the home page. I found it buried in the software years ago, and I said, hey, can we put that on the home page? And everyone loved the idea, so here it is. Demographics. The titles that you see here, where it says data domains, we usually refer to them as templates. The first three items, we get information from the New York City Department of Education every Friday afternoon, and it's refreshed on the following Monday. The date on Friday is based on a backup that happens, overnight on a Wednesday. So I'm making this video on Friday, December 5th. And if it were to happen that I had a new student at my sample school that enrolled today, because the data that Eastern Suffolk BOCES will receive is based on a Wednesday, I'm actually not going to see that record in Level Zero for 10 days out. Not next Monday, but the following Monday. Now, so we get demographic information. It is basic information about your students. The state actually collects information about, contacts and home languages and date of births, right? Us at Eastern Suffolk BOCES, we don't need those details to help you out reporting your data. There's really three important pieces we need in demographics. We need to know what school the student is registered at. We want the student name. We actually don't need it. We could do everything with IDs, but if you call us up and we're trying to search a student, it's very easy and nice to have a name. We have the student IDs, and we also have, it's called a district of residence. That just tells you what borough is their home district. And the actual district within the borough, I think, is how it goes. I'm not completely versed in New York City terminology. In the enrollment section, this one's very important to know start dates and end dates when the students enroll at your school according to ATS. Again, this information is coming to us from the city, so it's the official data that's in ATS. So it's possible that when school opens over the summer, let's look at how your students might show up. If you're a brand new school, all of your students probably populated in your school as September 5th when ATS opened this year, which was the first day of school for the city, or it might have been one day prior. If you are a school that is returning from last year, then the student was at your school the prior year, they would have rolled over and they were at your school as of July 1st or July 2nd. And if school opened in August, that kiddo is enrolled and you can see them right in Level Zero with an early enrollment. If you had a student transfer in over the summer that was not pre-registered, then their enrollment is going to start on the first day that ATS opened. Even though your school might have been opened and you might have been, sending them to classes and starting to take attendance during some days in August or early September before ATS opened, because there isn't an official enrollment from ATS, you'll see later that start date will be important, but we'll help you with all of it. Program facts. There are only two pieces of data that we received from the city that you'll see in level 0, and that is students who have been identified as homeless and your English language learners. We help you to report additional data on those two students for the DOE, so we need those two pieces of data. Other than that, we have multiple different templates you see here. Behavioral interventions collects data about any student who had to be restrained during the year. Courses is a list of all of the classes that have been offered at your school. If you are a returning school from last year, then we have pre-populated all of your courses from last year. Course instructor assignments, information about which teachers teach which classes. Day calendar, this is pre-populated for all schools also. It shows the day calendar of the New York City Department of Education. So if you opened up early, you might want to even fix it manually in level 0, just show what was your first day when instruction started. If you have different holidays, you'd have to update that. You can also import an entire file if you wish. We just made it easy for everyone because most use the same thing. Location marking period tells the state not every report card or interim report that goes home to parents, but it is when classes start and when they end for a final grade. If you are an elementary school, you probably only need one location marking period record that's going to be the first day of school to the end of the school year. If you are a high school, you probably need at least 3. A typical high school with 2 semesters a year where students might get half a credit in different courses, like maybe 2 English classes in the senior year, something like that. You probably have some all year classes, and you probably have some classes that are just in the fall where they start and end and a kid gets the credit right then, and the same thing for the spring. We'll help you with all that too. We have detailed directions back on our homepage under resources, under training materials. You can pick any of those templates and get detailed information, how to with graphics and warnings and advice through the whole thing, specifically for level 0. After that is class entry exit. The state collects information about once they know teachers teaching classes, then they're looking for students in those classes. On the state report card at data.niced.gov, the state reports class sizes, which is sourced from this information. Class grade detail is just passing or failing for all classes. That's all the state needs to know, except for those high school classes or maybe some at a middle school where students are earning college credits at the same time, a dual enrollment, AP and IB classes. They collect an extra piece of information, especially if they're getting college credits. They need to know that how many college credits they're getting. Everything that we do is required reporting for accountability. We work for the city. All of our services to you are free, and we follow the State Education Department's SIRS manual. SIRS stands for the Student Information Repository System, and level 0 is like the ground floor. That's how schools get data into the data warehouse. For New York City charter schools, you guys also get data in the data warehouse by all the work you do in ATS or in the CESA system, and any other proprietary systems that you use. What I like to say about this class grade detail, especially those college class credits, classes for credit, is that although the state tells you you're supposed to report them, I think you want to report them because this looks really great when you're applying for renewals or when the state report card is being published, and also for being identified as those blue ribbon schools and the U.S. News World Report high level schools. I forgot the title of that one at the moment. We pre-populate the basic 8 codes for state attendance. You can have as many as you wish, of course. Student daily attendance. A record of attendance is expected for every student on every day of their enrollment. So for every 100 students at your school, that's 1,800 records. 18,000, excuse me. It's 180 records per student, so it's 18,000 records. So if you have a large school, we're definitely helping schools load, well over 100,000 records at the end of the year sometimes. Our recommendation is to report that once a month, but whatever you do, we're here to help you. Student digital resources is a survey that your school is expected to dispense to your students or their families and to report that data also. I just noticed a little pop-up here. They're telling me I've been quiet on the screen for almost 15 minutes, so they're warning me that I was about to get cut out. Staff snapshot tells the state who works at your school. This should be all of your educational leaders, your teachers, business officials. You don't have to report, security guards, clerical staff, teaching assistants. They're looking at the different level of like decision making for students. Staff assignment, and it could be a teacher would have both a staff assignment. It could be that someone who's a full-time leader is also covering one of those college classes or any other class that you're building. It's possible that they would have a class instructor assignment and an assignment. Anyone who has a non-teaching assignment, such as a chairperson, maybe a dean of discipline, and they're part-time in a classroom, then they would have a staff assignment to say what their job is. There are staff attendance codes, and at the end of the year or after a teacher leaves, the state just wants a total count of teacher absences. This is something that the federal education department collects it bodes into school climate. Students do better when they see their own teachers. Okay, so that's just the title. Let me tell you about the data, but all these numbers are similar in the different columns. The first column will tell you when there are import errors, and that's usually just setup, right? If you bring in you had the date in the wrong field, or you're missing the first column, like you didn't have your district code, excuse me, that's this first number up here at the top. They would come in as import errors. They're showing you what the problem is. This is just a sample school with all fake data, so mine's uglier than yours will be with all these red numbers. Everything you see in level 0 that is underlined is a hyperlink to see information. So you could tap on that number 800, or in my case, it's 800. It doesn't matter if it's red or if it's, all sorts of valid records. You can jump out to see the records itself. So it's telling me that my fake data is really fake and they don't like it. Wherever you are in the software, to get back to the home screen, just tap up here in the upper left-hand corner. So then you can also see a count of the verification errors. These are logic. One place where those will most likely or most commonly popping up are under student daily attendance. If you had a new student come into your school, they're accepted late off of a wait list, and your school opened before ATS started, you're taking attendance and their enrollment doesn't start yet. Those days of attendance, when they get loaded into level 0, will be errors because it doesn't align to their enrollment. How can they attend if they're not enrolled? We'll help you to solve those issues, but that's the kind of thing. It's a logic error. The other one was a format error. This one is logic. To move data out of level 0, everything you load into here is safe, right? Even my errors are safely here in level 0 as I log out and come back in, but they can't move to our level 1 of our data warehouse for us to give it over to the city to report up to state ed until all of the errors are cleared. And don't worry, we watch these, we'll help you, and you can call us anytime. A great we like seeing counts of valid records. That's not certainly a good thing. There are also information counts and information like warning, like information to consider. I'm trying to think, I don't have that on my staff snapshot, but I believe this is the place it is where you would see if you have a teacher who changed their name since they got their Teach ID. So it would tell you that maybe the first and or last name don't match what's in Teach ID in the Teach system. And all you have to do, if it's your teacher, there's nothing you have to do at all. If it's not your teacher, you might want to call us. We can help you to figure things out. We don't have a lookup of any sort. We can't help you to find a Teach ID necessarily. Unless they were a teacher at your school last year, we can change to last year and actually look at your staff snapshots to see who these teachers are. We might be able to find a teacher from last year. Here's a place where I do have an info count, and the issue is going to be that I put myself in there as Tracy Kelly but my name is Tracy Davy. So I would have, they're warning you, is this your teacher? If it is, just ignore it. If it's not your teacher, right, I put in a bad teach ID here and it winds up just being some other person who ever had a teach ID. So we don't even know if they're active teachers anywhere in New York State. But those words definitely do not match that particular name. Okay, all I did was change the date here to look back at prior year data. To get back to my home screen, I'm tapping on that icon in the upper left-hand corner again. The next column will show you when did you last import data. And you can see some things I was just working on yesterday, prepping for this video. Import messages. So it's possible that after you've imported some data, this level 0 will retain information about what went wrong in the import. And that's something that will help us to help you clear errors. Nothing you have to worry about in that column. The last update is whenever it was touched. So the data can be imported manually and then updated, import electronically, a big file at once, like 120,000 or more student daily attendance records. And then if you had to fix any one of them, then it would show the date the last time anything like that happened. The upload, this is when the data goes through the level 1 data prep. When it leaves level 0 to go to our level 1, we're going to pass it to New York City every week. We send all of the data that we have. The state also added this additional column at the end. When they go red, the information is just telling you that, hey, this hasn't been done. Don't you need to lock it? For your schools, I want you to know and be assured that you never, ever have to lock demographic or enrollment data because we get that from the city and it's all taken care of. But if you see a Y in this column, that's telling you that something has been deleted since the last time data was uploaded. If we look at the import electronic import dropdown, now you can see where you can jump to a particular template and go find your data to import. You would just tap on this choose file, make sure as you're saving them, you know where to find them on your computer to make things go quicker and easier. We have a special feature on our student daily attendance tab. Because these files are so large, last year we collected well over 20 million records. The system can only have one single person loading the data at once. So we have 281 charter schools this year, and there are 3 of us in the office. Right now, did you see it flash red? Somebody just loaded a file in those few seconds that it was red. So it's possible that that will be lit up red for a little bit, few seconds like that, or many. If it's ever on for 10 minutes consecutively, because some file gets stuck, we get an alert and we will clear it. But feel free to call us if you have any concerns. This is the only template that shows that. Manual input allows you to touch or create a new teacher record. So if we were to go to Staff Snapshot, you just start filling in the fields. You will see that level 0 is pre-populated with information. So I'm logged into this school. I can only choose that school. You would choose if someone is active this year. If you had an accident with the wrong teach ID for someone, we would flag it as deleted. We can't actually delete the record. And then you just go through all the different options. Once you're in a single record for anybody, then you can jump through all of the records for that individual. So if this had been a real person there who was also maybe that dean of discipline and a part-time teacher looking at the course instructor assignment, we would see whatever classes they're teaching under course instructor assignment once that's reported, and also their job titles. Let's see, I don't have a valid record in there. But once you're in here, you can see the codes and you would just choose what their job is. You have to, even if you're reporting a principal, chairperson of social studies, even if they've been at your school for 20 years, what we're reporting in this single record is when they started that job in the current school year. Every date in level 0 has to be in this format, a 4-digit year hyphen 2-digit month, 2-digit day. If ever you're working in level 0 manually, your cookies might allow you to jump back to something quick and easy. Every time, if you are doing a lot of manual input, and if you're a small school and you only have a couple of people, a vice principal, attendance clerk, or the director of technology, something like that, then you might want to do that manually. Actually, I would say if you only need to report a dozen or 2 dozen records in a single field, it might be quicker to just do it manually here in level 0. Once you enter any single record, you need to make sure that you validate and save. It'll let you know if you've made any errors on that individual person at the time. Once that validates and saves and it's good, you would get a green message down here at the bottom. If you keep working on the same screen, you would actually write over the same record over and over again. So please don't do that. If one person has 2 titles, wears 2 hats, maybe they're the CFO and the director of technology, then you could just say current staff, add new, and they would have left the name here in this field for who the person was. You can also start a new record, brand new record. You would want to hit clear, and that would have cleared the whole screen to take a new record. Instead, again, otherwise you're at risk of writing over one over and over again. In this area, actually on the home screen, I'm going to go back there again. On the home screen, this list has been whittled down to the templates that we collect. So you're not going to see the names of other templates that schools across the rest of New York State are using. This was customized for our New York City charter schools. When I was on that individual manual input for a teacher, there's an item here that says staff tenure. Charter schools are not required to report data there, nor in staff evaluation. We can't remove those tabs, but we took it away on that main screen for you, just to make things easier. It's possible that, so we move data, we move the student attendance data every Tuesday. We do that on a separate day because those files are so big. About noontime is when we're going to start working and prepping those records. And then about 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning is when we move all the rest of the records. So again, on Tuesdays, it's actually day calendar and student daily attendance. Those two go hand in hand. And then on the other days, it's everything else, of course, except demographics and enrollment. The city already has that data. While that data is being moved, we block you from doing the L1 data prep. What would happen is you can continue to load data and work in level 0, but if you were to go to that, it's called L1 data prep to move the data to the next level, that line will disappear while we're doing that that data transfer. Usually within anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, the item will pop back up on your screen. Again, if you are ever concerned about something, please call us. I mean this most sincerely. We are here to help you. And if you are spinning your reels after 5, 10, especially by 15 minutes, please, we don't want you to be frustrated. This is very detailed work. And I'm not even talking about how to create the data to load it into level 0. I just want to make sure you can maneuver the software right now. I want to give you a quick look at that L1 data prep section. We've been talking about staff snapshots, so let's go there. If data had, something had been, I'm going to go back to my home screen. I did an L1 data prep before for the state codes, so let me go to that one. L1 data prep for, it was staff attendance, and, there's no valid record. If you had already locked this data, right here would be a timestamp. Let's do it for, I know, we can do it for day calendar. I loaded a day calendar. So it's warning you here that it's never been uploaded to level 1 yet. It looks like that I've done, it's given me a warning that I have made changes to my day calendar since it was loaded. So it really wants me to do the L1 data prep. I'm going to hit validate now. It does a quick verification to make sure that there are no logic errors and that any import errors have been fixed. And then you have to touch this last button. This is the only way to get the data to move out of level 0 to the next level of the data warehouse. So you would tap that. This now activates a button where you can download the exact file that just transferred, but you can also get it from level 0 at any time because, as I said, the data is there and safe at all times. That one is under reports, information and warning. You would simply choose the template, find it in your list, and then say download. And you can see exactly what that data is. Mine is set to open as a text file, but if you didn't have it set that way, it might open in Excel, and Excel tends to direct the dates back to slashes instead of these dashes in that format. But don't worry about that. We're going to help you with it. Let's see. Reports. This is a super powerful area. And almost anytime you call us for help, this is going to be the first place I'm going for whichever template you tell me you need help with. The information warning reports, as you saw, is a great place to access data. And we'll show you throughout the year other reports that'll help you once you're familiar with reporting data. Data quality, one nice one here is, let's look at the day calendar. I'm going to select the report. We're just going to look at the summary. We can look at month. I guess we can just look at the month. Let's look at September. Oh, I'm sorry, my school's not in there because it's a fake school and it's not, level 0 doesn't look for it. So I actually can't show you this report. But what it should show us is a list of the counted days in the month of that, when there's school in that month. It's very helpful. Okay. I'm going to show you the student daily attendance one. Actually, let me just jump around. If I were to go to courses, whenever there's an import error, it's going to show you that immediately. If you want to know if there are validation errors, right? These are like the setup. The next ones are logic. So if I just run that verification report, it says that there's no errors of that kind. If you're about to go do the L1 data prep, and you saw where a few moments ago it asked me to validate the data, if you had just verified the data on this screen and then go to the L1 data prep, you won't have to hit the validate again because you just did it. It'll allow you to make that file, create that file immediately. Many of the items in this box, regardless of which template you're looking at under reports, are the same, predominantly the first row. If you are at a consortium or network and you tap on this district summary, you'll actually see one line per each of your school and account of records at that school. So that's very helpful. If you want to drill down into the information at that single school, you want to go to the district school summary. And then this looks the same for just about every template. You're going to tap on your school's name and you'd be able to see all the records. I don't have any valid records, so this list of valid records is blank. I'll have to figure that out. Oh, it's because we don't have that school code in here. The district upload, if you wanted to know when your data was uploaded, this would give you that list. It would show you when data was imported. If it's very possible that you're going to see my name, Jennifer Vladikin's name, or Bonnie Costa's name in here. If you had trouble with a file and you've asked us for help and sent us to upload for you, we will do so. When it comes to the upload section, if we see that you've finished the data and you don't have any errors and we're about to send it, we'll hit upload for you to make sure that we're moving whatever work you have in there as it goes along. So again, as we flip to different sections, this box looks similar. When there are errors, they will tell you what they are. I just have a real generic one in there. I tried to build it before this. And again, information. This is incredibly helpful and has many more details when it comes to your student attendance. You can actually find missing records. If you had 100 students and at the end of the year you only had 17,000 records and you're missing 1,000 records, right? Because it's supposed to be 18,000. Then that would give you a list of the 1,000 records that are missing. It would help you to make sure that you report complete data. The state's policy on this, if data is missing, they will count it as an absence. So we will do everything we can to help you to see that. As I mentioned, when we're looking at attendance for importing the data, it's the same thing on the L1 data prep. Also on the screen, only one person can be running the verification at a time. Actually, only one person can be doing either the electronic import, verifying their data, or L1 data prep at a time. So you will see when it's available. And as you saw, it went very quickly for some other school a few moments ago. So again, we will help you to get familiar with all those details. Going back to, I want to show you one shortcut here. I can't remember if I've done it yet. Just like you guys know, a couple trains will get you to the same neighborhood. It might be an express or whatever, right? Actually, this would be the express train. As you look at any of these templates, these are underlined, right? And by tapping on the template title, will take you straight to that report screen instead of having to hover over reports and then tap on the item. Just a little bit faster. We have a help section here. various documents that you can download to help you, step-by-step instructions. We have some of these that are, talking about how to clear up enrollment errors. We can't help you necessarily find the Teach ID unless they were at your school last year, but we'll tell you how you would go about helping the teacher find it or using the Teach system itself for someone at your school. All right, that's the gist of it. Again, I meant it literally. Call us if you need us. We know this is technical and we'll help you get used to it. And also, we don't judge your data. Like, I don't even know if it's right. I'm not going to know that you accidentally hit my Teach ID and threw my name in there if it was adjacent to like another person at your building. We're never looking at any name of any student or anyone else. We're not looking at your calendar. We're not looking at anything unless you call us and say you have a problem with something, and then we go diving. And we're really good at figuring those out. We like those things. So we won't judge your data, but we're going to count it. If we know there's a deadline coming up and you haven't reported your staff snapshots or you don't have any course instructor assignment information in, the first deadline on that one is coming up as January 22nd. You'll get some emails or maybe even a phone call from us helping you to get on track. All right, thank you for joining me. You'll be great, and we'll help you at any step of the way. Have a great day.